What is that?
This in regards to the stream. We are actually starting at verse 11 today.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Or 12.
count 12. Just watch. No. All right. All right. First priest up.
Say pray to get here before I come.
Yeah, right here.
Peace and officer Karamia. Banyanyam Yashala.
Karam Yala Banyanya Banyashala.
Not for me.
Stay standing.
Okay, so. Shalom Yabashmi Shabakata.
Normally present to you, but La Yashala. No, I did that backwards. All right. Majum. So, turn and face the east.
You're going to serve the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemaya.
Shabbat Shemaya.
Kwadash.
Kwadash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Malakwaka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratizaka.
Ratizaka.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baratiza.
Baratiza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Bashemaya.
Shemaya.
Natandanawa.
Thundanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakinawa.
Salakinawa.
Kabawakinawa.
Kabawakinawa.
Kasalakinawa.
Kasalakinawa.
Kabawakinawa.
Kabawakinawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tayabayanawa.
Tabayayinawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasaywan.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashayanawa.
Hawashayinawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra.
Ra.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwat.
Hamalakwat.
Walala.
Walala.
Walataparat.
Wasapara.
Lalawanya.
Laiwilliam.
Aman.
Amen. In English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
As it in earth. It's like it. Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen. God, oh God. We're going to say the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
What? Salaka. Yeah. Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Makayala?
Why Malakayala?
Wala Lahapiam?
Why Alahapiam?
Matazabaya?
Matazabaya?
Ala Wap Yahana?
Ala Wap Yahana?
Hala Wapiam?
Ha Ala Wapiam?
Hasasaranyam?
Hasasaranyam?
Aquasatayanyam?
Aquasatayanyam?
Aqualayanyam?
Aqualayanyam?
Wahakatayam?
Wahakiam?
Wahakiam? La Yahweh?
Yahweh?
Bashim?
Bashim?
Yahushai?
Yahushai?
Tawada?
Tawada?
Amen.
Amen.
In English.
In English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commander General Yohana.
Commander General Yohana.
Generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
Troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to say Hakak, the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim.
Bashim.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Babakusha.
Babakusha.
Natandanawa.
Thundanawa.
Hakak.
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 Lapaha.
Lapaha.
Kalmarala.
Kalmarawa.
Wakal Marawa.
Kalmarawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lataha.
Lataha.
Hamatazarium.
Hamatazarium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakium.
Lahakium.
Hamakium.
Hamakium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arakawat.
Arakawat.
Atamala.
Atamala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Bashim.
Bashim.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Tawada.
Tawada.
Amen.
Amen.
In English.
In English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the
The
power.
power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of
And
sickness.
all manner of disease.
And all manner of
The
disease.
power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to raise the
The
dead.
power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean
To
spirit.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of
In the
Yahushai.
name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Ashaha.
Ashaha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al.
Al.
Hahariam.
Hahariam.
Mahayan.
Mahayan.
Yahaba.
Yaba.
Isaiah.
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 Mayam.
Mayan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shemayim.
Waharatiza.
Raharatiza.
Halayatan.
Halathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalaka.
Regaraka.
Alianyaman.
Ayayaman.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Shamaraka. Salaki.
Shamaraka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yashayan.
Yashayan.
Shamawa.
Shamarwa.
Yasharala.
Yashala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamaraka.
Shamaraka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tezalaka.
Tzaka.
Ayad.
Ayah.
Yaham Yaka.
Yaham Yaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaha.
Lakaha.
Wayarak.
Wairak.
Balayaya.
Bayalaya.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal.
Makal.
Rai.
Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atha.
Atha.
Naparashika.
Naparshika.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazahatika. Tazahatika.
Tazatka.
Waba.
Waba.
Waka.
Waka.
Mayata.
Mayatha.
Wayai.
Why?
Ilawam.
I will know. In the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the
From
hills.
whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will suffer thy foot not to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber
shall neither slumber
nor sleep.
nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by
The
day,
sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. We read Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Allah Yawam
Allah yam
al
al
Damiaka,
Al-Damyaka,
Al-Tarashka,
Al-Tarakash,
Wala-Tarasquat,
Walatharasquat,
Al-Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Awa,
Awa,
Abayaka,
Abayaka,
Yayama,
Yayama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Rash,
Rash,
Al-Maka,
Amaka,
Yayarayam,
Ya'arayam,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayata,
Wayatha,
Yayatazwa,
Ya'atazwa,
Aitazapanyawanika,
Aitazaya Panyaka,
Ayara,
Ayara,
Lawaka,
Lawaka,
Wanaka,
Wanaka,
Kayadawan,
Kaya the one,
Maga,
Maga,
Waya,
Waya,
Wala,
Wala,
as Ayazaka,
Ayazaka,
Sham,
Sham,
Yasharala,
Yasha'ala,
Iwad,
Awad,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nayawa,
Nayawa,
Aitazawa,
Aitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Laka,
Laka,
Adawa,
Adawa,
Ailaka,
Alaka,
Barayata,
Barayata,
Yara,
Yara,
Salakia, Yaka,
Yaka,
Watawa,
Atarawa, A,
Hayala,
Ayaya,
Adawan,
Adawan,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashamai,
Yashamai,
Al,
Al,
Yam,
Yam,
Mawata, Mawaba,
Mawaba,
Wa,
Wa,
Garayam,
Garayam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wayawam,
Wayawam,
Wayalak,
Wayalak,
Palashat,
Palashat,
Ayasha,
Ayasha,
Shabaya,
Shabaya,
Tazawa,
Tazawar,
Gam,
Gam,
Ashawa,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Wa,
Wa,
Ayaman,
Ayman,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Zarayawai,
Zararawai,
Labanya,
Labanya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Latam,
Latam,
Kama,
Kama,
Dayan,
Dayan,
Kasa,
Kasa,
Yashara,
Yashara,
Kayaban,
Kayaban,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Kwayash,
Kayash,
One,
One,
Nashawa,
Nashawa,
Madawa,
Marawa,
Bayeta,
Bayata,
Andara,
Adara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
Laada,
Lada,
Amat,
Amat,
Shayatamoka,
Shayatamoka,
Nada,
Nada,
Yawa,
Yawa,
Mawa,
Mawa,
Kayarab,
Kayara,
Waza, Waka, Waka,
Waka,
Zaba,
Zaba,
Wazabak,
Wazabak,
Tazal,
Tazal,
Manai,
Manai,
Kal,
Kal,
Nasa,
Nasa,
Yakamwa,
Yakamwa,
Asha,
Asha,
Amawa,
Amawa,
Nayarash,
Nayarash,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
At,
Ath,
Nawat,
Nayawat,
Alayawam,
Ala Yawam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shamatamwa,
Shamatamwa,
Gagalawa,
Gagago,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Raka,
Lapanya Yoka,
Karash,
Karash,
Raira,
Thyraira,
Wakalabat,
Wakalabat,
Talawat,
Dalawat,
Halaram,
Halaram,
Kan Tarabanma, Kan
Kan,
Ta
Ta,
Radama,
Radama,
Basa,
Basa,
Iraka,
Irika,
Wasaba,
Rasaba,
Walapat,
Walapat,
Tabalahawam,
Tabahawam,
Malaha,
Malaha,
Panaha,
Panaha,
Kwalayan,
Kwalayan,
Wayabak Bakwashwa,
Walaba Kwashwa,
Shimka,
Shimka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashua,
Panaha,
Panaha,
Kwalawan,
Kwalawan,
Walabashkwa,
Walabashwa,
Salakia, Wala Balawa,
Walabalawa,
Aidayaye,
Adaye,
Waya,
Waya,
Kapawa,
Kaparwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Abadadwa,
Abadadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Dayawa,
Dayawa,
Kayawa,
Kayawa,
Asa,
Asa,
Shimka,
Shimka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadkwa,
Labadkwa,
Alawam,
Alawam,
Aikawa,
Aikawa,
Aratiza
Aratiza.
in the English.
Keep not thy silence.
Keep not Salakia.
Keep not thy silence.
Keep not that silence,
O God.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace,
And be not still.
and be not still,
O God.
O God.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee
have
lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off, from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelite of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They become as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Horeb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah, and as Zalmunna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God, in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and set the flames like it set. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. From their faces. Fill their faces. With shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That the men they know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh art the most high over all the earth. Saul, which is a turn, Yeshavia, being seated. All right, so we are at 2 Kings, starting at chapter 7, verse 12. 2 Kings chapter 7, verse 12. Second Kings chapter 7, verse 12. Wayequam, Hamalak, Layala, Wayamar, Al, Abadewa, Agaya Daha, Na'a, Lakam, Ath, Ashar, Ashai. It's like Ashawa, Lanawa, Aram, Yada Iwa, Kaya, Ra'aiba Yum, Ana Kanawa, Waya taza wa. Man. Hama kanaha. Laha ka baha. Baha shadaha. Bashadaha. La'amar. Kaya. Yataza. Sluggy. Yataza wa. Man. Ma'aya ra. One of the Hasham. Kayayam. Wa Allah. Ha'ai yara. Naba'a. Verse 13. Waya yan. It's like it. Waya ya. Waya ya. Ya. It's like it. Waya I na. Ka. My daba yawa. Waya mar. Waya kawa na'a. Kama shaha. Man. Hasa wasa yam. Hana'a rayam. Ashar. Nasharwa. Ba'a. Hanam. Kakao. Haha Mawan. Hamawan. Yasha'ala. Shah. Nashara wa. Baha. Hanam. Kakao. Hama Nawan. Second. Hamawan. Yasha'ala. Ashar. Damawa. Wanasha Kaha. Wana Raha. It's like it. Verse 14. Waya Kwaka wa. Shanaya. Rakab. Sawa Sayam. Waya Shalak. Hamalak. Akara ya. Makanaha. Aram. Lahamar. Lakawa. Wara Awa. Verse 15. Waya lak. It's like it. Waya laka. It's like it. Waya lakawa. Akara Yaham. I'd hire brother. It's like it. Hire Dan. Wahana ha. Kal. Hada rock. Malaha. Bagadayam. Wakal Layam. Ashar. Hashala Yakab Kawa. Aram. Bahaka Pazam. Baka Pagat. Sluggy. Pagatam. Bagatama. Sluggy. Waya Shabya. Right. Waya Shabwa. Hala Kayam.
Wayaga the wa lama lak, verse 16. Waya taza'a ha'ain. Waya batawa ath makana ha a war, it's like a rum. Waya haya sa'aha salah, it's like it salah bashakwal wasa'ath yum sha'ira yum bashakwal kada bar Yahweh, verse 17. Waha, it's like it. Wahama lak. Hapa Wayada. Ath. Hashela Yash. Ashar. Nasha'ai, it's like it. Nasha'ain. Al. Yadawa. Al. Hasha'ira. Waya Ramasa Hawa. Ha'ain. Basha Ira. Waya Math, it's like it. Waya Math. Ka'ashar, Debar, Ayash, Ha'ala, Hayam, Ashar, Debar, Baradath, Hamalak, Allah, Yawa, verse 18. Waya haya Kadabar Ayash Ha'a Lahayam Al Hamalak La Amar Sa'atha Yam Sha'ira Yam Bashakwal Wasa'a, Salath, Bashakwal, Yaha, Kayath, Makaro, it's like it, Makara, Basha'ira, Sham Rawa, it's like Shem Rawan. That's the 7 verses I wrote.
Cool. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 7, verse 12 to 18. And the king arose in the night, and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry, therefore they are gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city. Verse 13. And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, they are even all the multitude of Israelites that are consumed, and let us send and see. Verse 14. They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, Go and see. Verse 15. And they went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste, and the messengers returned and told the king. Verse 16. And the people went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians, so a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. Verse 17. And the king appointed the Lord on whose land he leaned to have charge of the gate. And the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died. And the man of God had said, Who spoke when the king came down to him? Verse 18. And it came to pass, as the man of God had spoken to this king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel, shall be for tomorrow after this time in the gate of Samaria.
If we recall, you know what I'm saying, you know, there was like a great famine that was going on, of course, though, in the city. And of course, Elijah had stated that by tomorrow, that bird, was it dove poop? Was it dove poop? I think it was a donkey's head was being sold for like 40 shekel or 40 silver. It was like 20 shekel, and the other one was being sold for like 8 or 20 silver or something of that nature. It was a great famine. There was people eating one another, of course, though. The king was rent his garments, of course, though, because of the atrocities that was happening, that was going on. And here it is, outside the city, you have the leopards, which are not to be within the city. They are now at the gates. It's like, we're going to die if we're outside, we're going to die if we're inside. So you might as well just go inside. And of course, going inside, that's where we are right now. When they got inside, they looked and they saw that there was no one there. The Syrians were all gone. It was like when you see like modern day ghost towns. Matter of fact, the pandemic hit, right? Where was everybody at?
The whole world was a ghost town.
It was a ghost town. It was a curfew. You had to be in the house by a certain time. I remember driving down the road, so I was just like, yo, where's everybody at? Yeah. I called my brother. I was on the phone talking to him. He's like, yeah, we supposed to be in the house. I was like, what are you talking about? There was a curfew, you know what I'm saying? I'm driving around. There was nobody on all the busy streets. I was lost and confused, of course, though. And that's the same thing that was happening here. They walked into the camp of the Syrians, and their horses were tied up. But of course, though, when they go inside their tents, there is no one there. Cool. There is no one to be found. They have fled. It's as if, you know what I'm saying, you know, everybody had disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no one around, no one inside, of course, though. And here it is, starting at verse 12. Go ahead.
2 Kings chapter 7, verse 12. And the king arose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry, therefore are gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field.
So here's the king saying that, yeah, it's a plot against, you know what I'm saying, the people, right? This is what the Syrians did. They set them up. Go ahead. They went and they hid themselves out in the field, in the grasses.
Say, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city.
So what they're saying is, the Syrians had hid themselves, right? They had hid themselves, of course, though, so that they would not see them. They would sit down, they would fill themselves, they would be full. And when they would leave, they would do what? They would catch them. Because now they have been full, they have been fed. You know how it is. You have a good meal, of course, though, you get the itis, it kicks in. You get that itis, now it's just kind of like, hey, man, you know, you relax. Your guard is down. That's what he's saying that was happening. Keep reading.
Verse 13. And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are all in the multitude of Israel are left in it.
Say that one more time.
They are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of Israel that are consumed. Let us send and see.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, Go and see.
All right. So now, here it is. You're saying that they saw the horses. Go take the horses. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like saying, take the spoils of war. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ours now. We take it. It's unclaimed. What's those different games and stuff that they do? Mine. Yeah. Like kids be in the store, whoever touches it, it's mine, right? That's mine. That's my Lamborghini. That's my Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? In this case, though, the Syrians have gone out. They're not in their camp. They're not, you know what I'm saying, in their city, of course, though. And they say, hey, you got these horses here, man. Take these horses. We're going to take these horses, of course, though. We need these horses. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And they went after them unto Jordan. And lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels.
They were what?
All the way was full of garments and vessels.
It was full of spoils. You understand? Just like the horses was just sitting there laying in wait. Now, of course, you had garments and vessels. What was in those vessels? Go ahead.
Which the Syrians had cast away in their haste.
Mm-hmm.
And the messengers returned unto the king.
Right. The Syrians, you know what I'm saying, just cast it away. They said, man, we got to go. We got to go. Why is the Syrians in such haste? Why is the Syrians, you know what I'm saying, trying to get away so quickly?
Israel coming for you, you better get out of the way.
Right. The Syrians thought that Israel had what? Teamed up with others, of course, you know what I'm saying, to take them out, didn't they? Wasn't that? If we go back and we read the scriptures, they I think it's in verse 6, I believe. They believe that the Egyptians joined up, you know what I'm saying, with Israel. But they say, yo, we don't got time for it. We got to go. We got to get out of here. Take what you can and leave. the looting that you saw, you know what I'm saying, at the beginning of the pandemic, they said, man, grab it. You know what I'm saying? Grab what you can and go. And as, of course, you know, as leaving, of course, though, you got the paper trail of, you know, whatever spoils and goods. Man, this is too heavy, man. I can't get away fast enough. We're going to leave this.
Yeah.
We're going to leave this right here. We're going to leave this here. Look, we got to go, man. The Israelites are coming after us, man. The Israelites is coming to put us to death. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I believe we were low in numbers, of course. It wasn't that there were so many of us, of course, but they had the fear that we had joined up, you know what I'm saying, with someone else. So we didn't need to do that. We didn't need to join up, you know what I'm saying, with anybody else, you know, in order to, you know, get this victory. The Most High, you know what I'm saying, made it possible for us to have this victory. The Most High, you know what I'm saying, is the one that's deserving of all the glory, of course, though. It's not, you know what I'm saying, by our mights. It's, oh, how many did we have? 200 million?
Cool.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's going on right now? What's going on right now? Present day.
They're killing us because they're scared of us.
Yeah. But I mean, like, just something that's relevant that's happening right now. Similar to what's happening in this what we're reading. What's Russia doing?
But I was thinking along them lines. They're all coming together, you know, ready to come up against Israel.
Right. So here's
the bottom line is to come up against Israel.
If you see what's happening, what is it? The U.S. troops. Look, if you, I mean, I'll be very careful. Like, be careful what I say and how I say this, of course. Though, Ukraine is being, you know what I'm saying, put to the U.S. was like, hey man, get out of the Ukraine. They pulling all the people's back, right? They pulled all the people back. They sent what? 2,000 men initially? 2,000 troops to the border of Syria, or Slagia, of the Ukraine, right? And of course, Russia supposedly, sent 40,000 or something along the lines like that?
They're ready.
Right. And now, supposedly, even though the U.S. is withdrawing, they're supposed to be withdrawing, those cities are what? Desolate. Those cities, I'm saying, there is no, it's open. Just like what happened, what last year? When they pulled out of, Iraq? They pulled out of Iraq, what happened? They went in there and they got all the spoils. All that U.S. currency, they got all the tanks, they got all those things. Right? This is their kingdom, of course. We don't have the kingdom right now. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom is within us. But this is their kingdom. This is their territory that they are living in and surviving in, of course, though. It sounds very similar, you know what I'm saying? But that's what's happening. If you could just imagine, you know what I'm saying, of what happened when we pulled out of Iraq. And when I say we, I'm just talking about the U.S., man. When the U.S. pulled out of Iraq, the same thing is happening up in, what's that place called again? Ukraine? Like, it's a similar story. Just kind of picture that, all right? But in this case, though, we didn't have to join up with anybody. The Ukrainians are joining up with the allies, right? The U.S., NATO, whoever else, Israel. They're gonna send all the people up there because they don't want Russia part of, you know what I'm saying, a part of that again. They don't want Russia, you know what I'm saying, to gain that power, of course, though, because they know what they were like last time they had that power. But us, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have to join up with anybody. The Most High was the one, who did everything for us. Keep reading out.
Verse 16. And the people went out.
He said the messenger returned to the king. And
told Shalaki. And they went out after them unto Jordan. And lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king. Verse 16. And the people went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord.
Right, and that's according to the prophet Elijah. Elijah had said, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning of this chapter, on tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel. And of course, here's also one of the things to remember, right? Didn't the king blame Elijah? The God of Elijah, right? He blamed the God of Elijah for what was happening. It's your fault. It's your God, you know what I'm saying, that's causing this famine. He's the one who can open up the windows and pour down the blessings. He can cause the rain to fall from the sky so that we don't have to eat donkey head. We don't have to eat an ass's head. That's what it said in the scripture, that an ass's head was selling for like 40 pieces of silver or 40 shekel or something of that nature, which was just
extortion.
Right. Like, what meat do you have, you know what I'm saying, from an ass's head? There is no meat. There is no sustenance from that. You understand? All it is just flavored water. You really want to eat donkey water? Donkey soup? Ass soup? Go ahead.
Verse 18. And the king appointed the Lord, on whose hand he leaned, to have charge of the gate. And the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died.
And what?
And he died.
And he what?
And he died.
And he died, man. The king, you know what I'm saying, he did what?
Appointed the Lord, on whose hand he leaned, to have charge of the gate. And the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died.
Here it is, you know what I'm saying. What was the king doing? What was the king doing? What was the king doing in this particular instance right here? He's at the gates, right?
Okay.
What's just beyond the gates? What's just beyond the gates?
The security.
Right, but what did they just find and just uncover?
The Syrians left everything. Yeah. All those garments and vessels and.
Right, and now the king did what? The king put somebody at the gate, right?
He put somebody in charge.
He put a guard at post.
Yeah.
Hey man, guard this. You know what I'm saying? The people are suffering from a famine, are they not?
God.
The people need food.
God.
And what did the guard do? I mean, what did the king do?
He put a man in charge of the spoils.
Right. But think about it. You know what I'm saying? If you were to look at today, right? If you were to consider our leaders, our politicians, they are what? They are in charge of the gates of Israel, right? Mm-hmm. What do they do when they're in charge with the gate?
They feed themselves.
They do what?
They feed themselves.
What was the king doing?
He was feeding himself.
He was feeding himself. He wasn't looking out for the people.
Yeah.
After, you know what I'm saying, Elijah had said what would happen. On this day tomorrow, flour shall sell for what? 2 shekels? 1 shekel? Sold for a shekel.
Yeah, for each 1 shekel.
A measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord.
Yeah.
All right? That's the thing about, you know what I'm saying, when you get these evil bastards, you know what I'm saying, in leadership and control of whatever is happening, what's going on, you will find, you know what I'm saying, that there is always someone at the gates trying to control it.
Yeah.
Not to disperse, you know what I'm saying, like, listen, we have food programs here in Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, man. We disperse foods out to our brothers and our sisters, those who are less. We don't wait for the holiday season. You understand? It's not Christmas time. No, it's not Thanksgiving. We're dispersing all year long. You go into these stores, you know what I'm saying? You see, look, they got security measures for groceries, for meat, right? I went into the store just to get some deodorant. I had a security. Can you open up, you know what I'm saying, so I can get some deodorant? Like, come on now. I was shocked. Like, I know that they were doing it over the, as they would say, the ethnic products in Walmart, you know what I'm saying, some time ago. God damn, I can't go and go get some shampoo to wash my hair. Look, you got, what is it? You got L'Oreal. There was nothing on that. There was nothing on the L'Oreal though, but all the ethnic stuff, of course. Though, what they got? See, they got you lift the thing up and it starts setting the alarm off. Yeah. Not to mention that they got the cameras right there.
Yeah,
they got the cameras. They got the cameras and they show you on the camera, so you're being watched. Now they got the cameras. They got the things that you got to lift up. The alarm goes off, of course. Though you go into the stores, now they got that, and they have a key that you have to have in order, you know what I'm saying, to gain access. Ain't that something? The power of the Most High, you know what I'm saying, He has the ability, you know, to say, hey, you know what, they suffered long enough, man. Let's take care of them, man. The ISUPK, you know, have been dispersing food, man. We've been going to the prisons, of course, though. Food, clothes, shelters, all types of stuff that we do. Why? Because our people are without. The elders who are in charge of the gates, the leaders, our so-called politicians, right? Our so-called religious leaders, you know what I'm saying, are hoarding. How much money was taken by the church? What's it? 10 billion, 4 billion, 100 and something $1 billion?
Over the last 30 years or something like that.
Gosh, like I got this right here. I'm gonna get this real quick. You had something you want to say?
I'm saying, like you said in this scripture here, see the people run over the century. They did a Black Friday on him. It's Black Friday when they got the security in front of the door. We holding back everybody. And we see people die from that. And we've been telling people for years, don't get caught up with that Black Friday thing. Leave that alone. That is not of God. Now they don't believe us, but the Lord allow you to be put to death. You know, it so happened that it's one of our Levite brothers, but the bottom line is that we are not supposed to be celebrating them holiday. You know, and if you celebrate it Valentine's Day, make sure that it's your last Valentine you celebrate, because it's an evil holiday. They made $14 billion off you. $14 billion, and how much they put back into our community? Absolutely nothing. And they have a budget every year. That's, you know, they have a budget every year for all cities. They have a budget, but your neighborhood looks the same way every year, regardless of how much money they pour into the budget. Go ahead.
It's like this says right here. Man, the Mormons, man, they getting it in, aren't they? They said that the Mormons church has misled members on 100 billion tax exempt.
That's the Mormon church?
That's the Mormon. That,
but the guys who walk in the white shirt with a little backpack in the back.
Yeah, that's.
They have $100 billion.
They said Mormon church has misled members on 100 billion tax exempt investment funds. Whistleblower alleges. That's just the Mormon church, though. I ain't even talking about us. Ain't even talking about us. It said LDS Church kept the lid on its 100 billion fund for fear tithing receipts would fall. Yeah. They had 100 billion, and they said they wanted to keep it on the low. Keep it on the low. Why? Because people are going to stop giving. They're going to stop donating. Ain't that something? I got to find the one. You know what I'm saying? I know it's in that email.
Generals bring it out. Always bring it out. They've been making money all for us, man. I'm not teaching the truth. You want to learn the truth? Come to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You all say we preaching hate. Well, come and prove it. You know, we ready for debate anytime.
There it goes. Got it. It says black economics, right? Black church receives $800 billion in 10 years.
Yeah, black church. How much is that you say again, sir?
800.
You sure?
800 billion.
800 billion.
Black churches have collected 800 billion.
800 billion in 10 years.
You telling me that, you know what I'm saying, we don't have the capabilities of changing?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Does that make sense? With righteous leadership, you know what I'm saying? Like, aren't the churches all supposed to be one? Aren't they all supposed to be together, of course, though, right? They're all supposed to be following after Christ. What did Christ do? What was he teaching? He's talking about uniting ourselves together, of course, though. What does the churches do? They've collected over 800 billion over the past 10 years. What are they doing with that? Where is that going? So even just right here, you know what I'm saying, as we were reading, of course, though, it said they put somebody in charge of the gate. And sure enough, people, they went in. Like it was Black Friday. Mm-hmm. It was a fire sale. And they what?
Trode up on him.
They trode upon him, man. The judgment of the Lord, you know what I'm saying, came upon him that day. Why would the king die? Oh, food. Look what hear ye. Oh, snaps. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? They stomped him to death, man. Go ahead.
And he died, as the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him. Verse 18. And it came to pass, as the man of God had spoken to the king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel, shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria.
Right. So here's the priest, of course, though, telling you what is going to happen. And it has happened, of course, though. All you naysayers, all those that are disbelieving, of course, though, just understand who you're speaking up against, man. The power of the Most High. The Syrians fled out of fear. Mm-hmm. Out of fear. Right? All it was the Israelites. Yeah. All it was Israel. Mm-hmm. You understand? It wasn't the Egyptians as they thought. It wasn't the Hittites. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the Egyptians. It was just, if we just drop back for real quick, you know what I'm saying, 2 Kings 7 and 6. Oh. Right? It said, for the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots. To hear a noise of chariots. Who has chariots? Who had chariots at that time? Who had chariots?
And the Most High is the man who created trials. before they even actually put them on the face of this earth. What they call so-called UFOs, which is really IFOs. We identify them in the scriptures.
Yeah, we know what they are, though.
They identify them in the scriptures. They call them unidentified flying objects.
Right.
Or chariots on the ground, you know, but the Most High is the one who gave the knowledge so that we can create these chariots.
But if you keep it to what's happening like today, right? What is the chariots now?
You know, all those
how do people get around today?
Cars.
That's the chariots. That's the modern day chariots. Right? We get around, you know what I'm saying, on buses, and cars, minivans, motorcycles. That's a chariot. Of course, you know what I'm saying, at that time, you know what I'm saying, those chariots that they was getting around on was what? Horses. Right? The gladiators. Y'all know about gladiators, don't y'all? Yeah. Gladiators, you know what I'm saying, they rode on what?
On chariots.
Chariots. Right? They heard the noise. It's like they heard the noise of the great host. It's like even the noise of a great host, and they said one to another, "Lo, the king of Israel has hired against us the king of Hittites and the king of the Egyptians to come upon us." You see that?
God won't come.
The Most High, and all it was, you know what I'm saying, was Israel. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying, the Hittites. It wasn't the Egyptians. It was solely Israel. You understand? And that's what it says, you know, when, you know, your enemies, you know what I'm saying, he'll take care of your enemies for you. You understand? Mm-hmm. We have a power that is capable of doing all those things. All right? With that, you know what I'm saying, Slightly, did you have anything else?
That's
all
it.
right. We'll definitely make sure that we pick this up, of course, next week, though. With that, you say Amijam. Upon you have it done, turn to face the east.
Said it, closing prayer, and we start with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shimka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'a. Ratizaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baratiza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Latandanawa. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Wasalakinawa. Kabawakinawa. Kasalakinawa. Kabawakinawa. Wala Tayabayanawa Banasayawan Abal Habashayanawa Mayan Rai Kaya Lakwat Hamalakwat Wala Taparat Lalawanyam
Amen. In English,
Our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Amen.
I'm going to give the blessings in Hebrew. Barakata Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Makayala. Wala Ahayam. Salakia. Matazabaya. Ala Wapyahana. Ala Wapyan. Hazaranyam. Hakwazatayanyam. Hakwalayanyam. Wahakatewam. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Tawada. Amen.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
In him.
Command General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to read Haka, the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Baba Kusha.
Baba Kusha.
Natandanawa.
Natandanawa.
Hakak.
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 La Paha.
La Parah.
Kal Marala.
Kal Marawa.
Wakal Marawa.
Wakal Marawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
La Taha.
La Taha.
Amatazarium.
Amatazarium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
La Hakium.
La Hakium.
Amatium.
Amathium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arakawat.
Arakara.
Hatamala.
Hatamala.
The Garashan.
The Garashan.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Tawada.
Tawada.
Amen.
Amen. In English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, Saul.
Sisters, take a seat. We can give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, we give the teacher one courtesy salute. I mad you. I mad you Shabbat. I mad you Barak. Ya ba Shimya Shah Brakatam.
Ya ba Shimya Shah Brakatam.
Sister, stand. Give one courtesy salute to the sisters.
It's like we do salute to all the Akim, and then we do to sisters.
Come on,
it's like, let me be seated. Men of Israel, Amijim, Shabbat, Amijim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Brakatam.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Brakatam. This is sister. Gives one courtesy salute to the sister. I Madium Shabbat. I Madium Barak.
Slack. Yeah. Slack. So when we say Barak, you're going to be feet 45-degree angles like this. It's like that. All right. When we say Barak, you're going to take your left or your right hand and place it on your chest. All right. Majim. Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatam Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shamar Alatam Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yazmatah, class dismissed.